Fender brought out their masterpiece, the Stratocaster.
And it was made in very simple principles, two pieces of wood bolted together. And Fender suffered a lot of derision at the time because they thought that's a very crude way of doing it, especially from people like Gibson. But of course, Leo Fender's original idea was when you wear the frets out, you just put a new neck on. It was tailor-made for mass production. The electrics could be made on a scratch plate, dropped onto the front of the guitar, the two bits of wood could be bolted together, so unskilled labour could put these guitars together. They're revered now, these early Fenders, but they were made by unskilled Mexican labour. They were thrown together, quite frankly, to get them out the door so the company could survive financially. Leo Fender's first guitar was the Telecaster, and Leo was an engineer. So everything was straight lines, hard edges, and you can look at that guitar and you think, yes, he designed that because he wasn't a guitarist. But when this one was developed, he had input from other musicians, and also a guy who worked for him called Freddie Tavares, Hawaiian guy, who actually was a steel guitarist. He did the theme at the beginning of the Warner Brothers cartoons, that slide on the Hawaiian guitar, that was Freddie Tavares. But he had an eye for radiating curves. Everything on here has got radiating curves. And it's also contoured on the back and on the front here for comfort. So actually when you wear it, it tends to disappear. When you play a Telecaster, you feel like you're playing a plank, which has its own appeal, or a workhorse appeal. But this is much more sexy.
When I first saw a Stratocaster properly, I realized that, in fact, it's a thing of sculpted beauty. If you look at the cross-section of the thing, it's just, you know, it's just... I mean, that could be something flying through space to me.
It curves in and it's chamfered on the top so that there are no hard edges to dig into the body, because he realized how sensitive guitar players are. We need these little things.
First produced in 1954, it's become a design classic. Its sound still inspires passionate allegiance, and David Gilmour has a very early model indeed, serial number 0001.
I don't think it's the very first one ever made, but it's a 1954 Fender Stratocaster, and they don't get much better than this. I mean, this is about as perfect as a guitar can be. Well, Hank Marvin had a Fender Stratocaster, and that was what I wanted. I had a Hofner Club 60, which is as close to a Fender as I could afford when I was a young lad. Nice guitar, but I wanted that Stratocaster.